Super Bowler's got a new level at Town Hall 17 in the February update, and today we're going to test them out and we find out that they crush the core of these toxic meta bases. Have a look at the core of this toxic Town Hall 17 base. These sort of rage towers, they're pretty commonplace because there's so many strong defenses on the map, including the new defense in the previous update, which is insane. I'm sure you've all found that. But you'll see lots of rage tower bases with the Town Hall in the center. And these are kind of good for Super Bowlers. Surprisingly so, and Super Bowlers got a new level in the last update. Now, in case you're wondering about the hero equipment I'm using, this is on my free-to-play account, so should be all kind of achievable. Now, what you want to do, you start off with the Warden Walk. You're always going to use one rage spell with your Warden Walk, and you can take up to a minute. Super Bowlers are pretty quick, and we need a good funnel from this Warden here, so I use the Warden to get rid of the multi and the Queen, and look, we're going to get a nice funnel to come in on the top side, where we use the Skeleton spell to tank. Then I'm going to use the King and the Siege Barracks. Now, if there's not much to funnel on the outside, send your King in the center. You'll see me do that in the next attack, but I felt like there was a lot to funnel here, and the funnel is the most important thing with Super Bowlers. As you can see, we activate the Invis Tower early. Nicely done by the Super Bowlers. Doesn't end up mattering much in the end, but it is a big pro of Super Bowlers in the end. Now, unfortunately, one of the Super Bowlers runs away, so we've actually only got 2 in this main push, but have a look at the damage they're about to inflict on the core of this base. We're spamming down rage spells and freeze spells, and look, the core is disappearing so quickly. We also get the Valks from the Siege Barracks, and look at this. Core of the base gone in seconds. Now, Root Riders are strong, and they're definitely stronger than this army, but one of the downsides of Root Riders is they're quite slow. They will overwhelm the base, but they're not going to destroy it in seconds like you saw there. Now, the Super Bowlers will always die out on the back end of the base because, I mean, the healers run out, the Super Bowlers run out of power, you run out of spells, but this is where you have the Royal Champion. Her whole job is to clear the back end of the base. Your Queen will often live as well, so you can see the Queen here. I am running the Frozen Arrow and the Mirror Clone, that works well together. And the Royal Champion on the outside of the base with the Electro Boots, she's just so strong. She's doing cleanup, which helps time-wise, which allows you to take longer with your Warden Walk. But also, skeleton spells aren't going to hold her up, so she's just going to go through it all nice and easily. And she's got the Hog Puppet for protection in case we need that invisibility. Say we run into a defensive hero or something like that. And look, it doesn't appear to be an overkill here, but this attack was extremely comfortable on a base that reasonably leveled up and quite toxic. Another very toxic base here, but instead of rage towers, we have poison towers. But you can see a few of the defenses are leveled up. That's one of the leveled up expos. Both scatters are leveled up, and I believe this short attack defense is leveled to level 2 as well. So reasonably high level base. Let's see if we can take it down with Super Bowlers. So, Super Bowlers, the biggest thing about them is the funnel. That's why I've got the Yeti and the Baby Drag in this army. You'll see how I use them in this replay here. So we're doing the Warden Walk on the bottom side. Yet again, we want to clear out an area of the base. Often you go for a corner. In the last attack, I went for a side. That's because there was a dead zone on the base. So generally, you're going to go for a corner like I go for here. Siege Barracks on the other corner, and then the Super Bowler smash in the middle. Now, I'll pause it here. As you can see, pretty easy to take all this down with the Siege Barracks, so I'm going to send my King on the inside because, I mean, look at the inside of this base here. We need the King with the Earthquake Boots in there. We don't need him with the Snake Bracelet. That is garbage. Now, I'm going to use the Yeti here, and the Yeti's job isn't just to clear all this. Hopefully it goes down. Now, I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but if it went down, the Yeti Mites would take out this Wizard Tower, which would be really handy for a funnel because the Super Bowlers would shoot this and then they'll step inside the wall. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen, but I'm just letting you know the theory behind the Yeti in this. It's not only to take down the buildings on the outside, but if you can take down defenses behind the walls, it makes it easier to funnel the Super Bowlers in. Super Bowlers are a really annoying troop to funnel because they're a ranged unit, and ranged units are far harder to funnel than non-ranged ones. As you're going to see here, I believe it, yeah, you'll see exactly here, watch. These Super Bowlers are walking along the wall. Now, if the Yeti Mites had taken down the Wizard Tower, this wouldn't have been a problem. It ends up not mattering anyway because the Siege Barracks set an elite funnel. Now, I use the jump spell first because I want to save my King ability for the very core of the base. And with Super Bowler Smash, it's fine to pop the Warden ability early. Now, I admit myself, I probably shouldn't have popped it here. I should have saved it, even though it was nice to keep my King ability. It's just the Super Bowlers are everything, and you want to save it for when they're low on HP. I freeze. There goes the King ability. Look at the damage it's doing. We have the Valks from the Siege Barracks on the top side, so I reinforce them with my Royal Champion to ensure they're getting the maximum value. Keep in mind, the more tanking you do for your Royal Champion, the better. And now we're just spamming in all the spells that we have. We need to use them because the core of this base is super toxic, but the Super Bowlers are still doing a reasonably good job. The healers are up. Keep in mind, the life gem is nice with healers. It does give them a fair amount of extra HP, so it does take much more to get them down. As you can see, the Warden has I believe the Warden's gone. No, the Warden is still up. The Queen has gone down, but these Super Bowlers are still hanging on, as is my Royal Champ. And that's why it's so important for you to put your Royal Champ down with the Valks, because the Valks get out in front and tank and allow her to do more damage. You can see the Hog Puppet ability goes off here, and it's enough to just get the triple. Now, was this an overkill? No, this was much closer than the last one. We still do have 2 of the Super Bowlers up, but I did think this might fail for a second. But I think this shows that even with those super compact, toxic ring bases, you can get the triple. Is it stronger than Root Riders? No, but I don't know about you. This is so satisfying. Watching the Super Bowler bounces in the core of the base is awesome to watch, and I'm so glad they got a new level with the update. Now, obviously, this base here isn't the strongest base ever. It is actually more annoying to take down than it looks, but in terms of fundamentals, it's not the strongest base. But I want to use this replant I had in Legends League to show you the biggest weakness of the Super Bowlers, and unfortunately, this weakness will never go away, and that is the troop AI, or just funneling them in general, is extremely difficult. So, everything with a ranged unit is about funneling it into the base, but when you don't have the Fireball, and we need the life gem with this army, it's really hard to get a big funnel. Now, I'm always using a rage spell and taking about 50 seconds with the Warden Walk, but a lot of the defenses have a lot of hit points at Town Hall 17, so you can see we're never getting a deep funnel on any of these attacks, which means at any point, what happens to me in this attack could happen to you. So we've used the Yeti, we've got the King and Siege Barracks on the left-hand side, and overall, the start of this attack has gone about as perfectly as I could ask for. The Ice Golem's tanking the Monolith. That should go off any second. We get the Wall Breaker in. Look at where we are now. This is pretty much exactly where I'd want the attack to be. And watch what happens in the next 20 seconds. It's a bit of insanity. So, the troops all go in. The healers are kind of where I want them to be. I pop the Warden ability. Now have a look at this. The Titan goes to the right. The healers follow them. Now the Super Bowlers are about to split as well. So I'm going to pause this right now. There is one Super Bowler over here. There's another Super Bowler here. And there's a third Super Bowler over there with the Titan. They've all split different directions. No matter how hard I tried to funnel, they wouldn't stay together. And you want them to stay together because then it makes the healer's job easier. But as you can see, it does not go to plan one bit at all. Now, I probably should have put the jump spell in the center. That would have helped this all go better. But still, this is the big problem with Super Bowler Smash. Like, some of the time, failing is out of your control. Whereas people are just going to use Root Riders because it's such a consistent troop. And that's the whole problem with the game. Now, I don't want to ramble about this too much. I'm sure you've all heard it before. But in the sense that Root Riders are an extremely consistent troop. You can get very repeatable attacks with the army. And they're always going to path in a very similar way. But if the most consistent attack's also the strongest, then why would people use an inconsistent attack strategy? Now, Super Bowlers are always going to be amazing in a low hit rate meta because they can crush bases probably better than Root Riders can, honestly. Some of the time, Super Bowlers just run over the core of a base. But if it's just a high hit rate meta like we're in at the moment, and saying that, the game is noticeably more difficult post-update, so I'll be interested to see once everyone starts maxing out their defenses what happens. But as you can see, we are still, well, you're still able to get a triple here somehow. I couldn't believe I tripled this, actually. It gets extremely close in the end. But my point being, yes, this troop is fun, but is anyone using this troop going to be, you know, top 10 in Legends League? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I'd be very surprised if that was the case. Wizards finish this off. But I would still recommend you guys use this army just because it's so much fun Super satisfying, but let me know down below what you thought of this video. Would you like to see more Super Bowlers on the channel? I do really enjoy doing it. I love this army all the way back at Town Hall 14, and I'll keep using it.